would think that as Americans, we would already have a handle on this, because one of the great things about living in America is that from sea to shining sea, we have more resources, more technology, more opportunity, more wealth, more possessions than any people on planet Earth. You have more opportunities to generate more wealth than people living in any other superpower or any other region on Earth. You have more opportunity than anyone living in the European Union or in China or any Asian country or South America or Africa. We have this amazing amount of resources as Americans. In fact, I imagine that people from other parts of the world would look at us and say, how in the world could you have stress when it comes to money? You're America. How in the world could you have problems when it comes to money? You guys are Americans, and here's the reason why. Capitalism and living in a capitalistic culture, capitalism is amazing at generating wealth, but it is poor at connecting the dots between your finances and joy, between your finances and flourishing, thriving, satisfaction. And today, we're going to read something that Jesus taught in a parable that connects those dots for us. Now, the parable we read today, it was originally taught to an ancient culture, which was poor. It was, people that were oppressed by the Romans. It was subsistence living. Yet, you would think that Jesus was teaching this parable to those of us living in modern America. I don't know if there's a parable that hits Americans like the way that this one does. Now, if you're new to the Bible, a parable is simply a story that Jesus told to help us see something from God's perspective. Now, one time, we're going to be in Luke chapter 12, Jesus was preaching this sermon. In fact, the entire chapter of the Bible is a sermon that Jesus preached, and right in the middle of the sermon, somebody has the audacity to interrupt him while he's in the sermon, okay? But Jesus is such a masterful teacher, he actually takes the interruption and leverages it to make his point, and then he keeps right on going. It's a master class in live public speaking. But we're going to see in this parable something that is critical for us to get a handle on. And if you lean into the idea that Jesus taught, you will experience better finances. So today we are in Luke chapter 12. Here's how it begins. Someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." So again, if you look at the first 12 verses of this chapter, Jesus is preaching a sermon, and then someone interrupts. This would be like someone this morning in the fifth row, all of a sudden standing up, waving his hand and saying, "Excuse me, Jason, hey, listen, loved that dad joke you had. That was great. But listen, let's talk about me, okay? I want you to solve a problem for me. Tell my brother to give me what I deserve." Now, Jesus, he doesn't seem to be offended by the interruption, but he is greatly concerned about the attitude of this man. Now, we don't know anything about him. We don't know if his claim was legitimate or not. We don't know if his brother was right there in the audience with him. Awkward. But Jesus does see something in this man's attitude that concerns him. And what he sees in his attitude is this: I deserve it. My brother has something that I deserve, and he's not giving me what I deserve. Now, our culture teaches us to live with this attitude, this thought, this feeling of, I deserve it. Okay, think about some of the ads that we see. The ads that we see when there's a luxury car or fine fashion or something that's a great experience, the message of the advertising is, you deserve this. You deserve a car like this. You deserve an experience like this. And that connects with us because we think to yourself, you know what? I do work hard. I am underappreciated. I do deserve that. We look at things we don't have yet and say, yes, I deserve that. And we definitely experience around what you already have. When you look at your current money and possessions, we definitely think, I deserve this. Now, since we're heading into an election year, there's conservative and a liberal version of I deserve this. Pay attention to some of the messaging that you hear because it's the same attitude on different platforms. See, people on the left say things like, well, we should help the poor. Well, how are we going to pay for that? Well, tax the rich. See, they don't deserve what they have, but don't tax me. I deserve what I've earned, okay? Then there's a right-leaning version of that says, if the poor are in need, I feel bad, but they should do what I did and work hard and earn a good living because I deserve what I have. I worked for it. And then our libertarian friends come in and say, well, don't tax me. Taxes are theft. I deserve what I have. Now, I know you're thinking, okay, you got the other two parties right, but you were unfair to my party, okay? Granted. Except the libertarians. You guys really believe taxes are theft. Anyway, if you look, and some of you just thought, huh. And you made a note to Google libertarianism after church because maybe you're going to switch sides this election season. But what's beneath all of that, and this is just rooted in our American capitalistic culture, again, great at generating wealth, but it's driven by this underlying attitude. I deserve it. If there's something out there I don't have yet, maybe I deserve that. And if I do have it, I definitely deserve it.